All right, welcome back to Minor League Esports, brought to you by APM Music. We're heading up to the Champions League here for another doubles grand finals where we'll see the Comets take on the Blizzard. My name is Dextron. I am joined by Daddy Mapes here. Mapes, how you doing?
Man, I am so good, Dex. I cannot wait to see these two teams play, and I appreciate you calling me by my first name, buddy.
No problem, man. But hey, like you said, this is a great series here. A lot of history with these two teams. The Comets, this is their first time ever making it this far in any of the leagues. They're seeking their first championship. On the other side of the pitch, the Blizzard are looking to go back-to-back in CL2s here.
Absolutely are. So the Comets, as you pointed out, have never been in the grand finals before. They only have ever been to conference finals, which they lost once, and they've been to conference semifinals several times. Sorry, English is hard sometimes. They've been here since season 4 of the Comets. That's the year that they joined as an expansion team. And so this is a huge moment for these players to try and write history tonight. The question is, will the Blizzard repeat and become the two-time champions in CL2s, or will the Comets make history tonight and pop some bottles after this game?
Yeah, but just looking at these two, they're the 1 and the 2 seed, by far the two best teams in the Champions League throughout this entire season. It deserves, or it's kind of fitting that they're playing each other here. But I'm just looking at the names that we're seeing so far, and I'm seeing Matt Ander. Matt Ander is a player that I have seen just pop off, whether it be 2 or 3s, so much for their team.
Yeah, Matt Ander, actually, you bring that up, and I was looking at the stats there. What a fantastic shot percentage. Matt Ander is one of the season 15 top performers at 59% shot percentage. So that is massive. And his teammate is going to be GX. GX does lead their team in goals per game and assists per game and all sorts. So there is a lot going on that side of things. On the other team, for the Comets, we've got E-Dart-E, who is number 1 for goals on their team. And then also, we have... I don't remember the second player.
Bell.
I will check. Sorry?
Bell. It was Bell.
That's right, we do. And Bell leads in assists, saves, MVPR, and win percentage. So we've got two very high-firing teams with excellent offenses and some decent defense as well. I think we're going to see one heck of a game today, Dex.
Absolutely. It could take 7 matches. It could take 4 like the other 2 series have tonight, but the teams are finally on the pitch. The Comets will be in their hot pink cars, and the Blizzard will be in their icy blues. Champions League finals are underway.
E-Dart-E has that ball, throws it towards the net, and that goes in quickly. The Comets are out to a 1-0 lead.
Very quick here, only 6 seconds off a kickoff, basically. And you see E-Dart-E there just corrals that ball. No member of the Blizzard around to stop that shot from going in. But with it only being a short amount of time taken off the clock, that means there's still a lot of time for the Blizzard to try to respond here.
There certainly is. And you know what? Listen, this is only game number 1 of what could be, as you said earlier, a 7-game series. So lots of time, but Bell is going to put that in on net. No Blizzard defenders back. 2-0 lead, and we're really only about 18 seconds, into the game so far.
Takes them 6 seconds to score their first goal, 12 seconds to score their second goal. I mean, the Comets coming out on fire here to start off. The Blizzard kind of acting like their name, maybe coming out a little bit ice cold here, but still, we talked about a lot here already. A lot of time for them to come back in this game, and hey, only the first game of the series. Blizzard finally getting a good opportunity there, but kind of gets thwarted there by the Comets defense. Now the Comets, E-Dart-E trying to get a pass here to their teammate, not going to be able to, as Matt Ander denies that shot there.
GX off the wall, just trying to get it out and get some of that pressure relieved. The Blizzard's now on offense. They're going to fight for that ball into the corner. E-Dart-E, though, getting a touch. Bell hits that out into the midfield area. GX, though, there gets that ball. Now it's basically a 1v1. Great defensive play. And the Blizzard are still attacking, and they score! Matt Ander with a beautiful thread of the needle.
Yeah, GX here played this ball perfectly. Definitely looking for a pass the entire time. Matt Ender, even with Bell right there, able to get to that ball first, get it over Bell's bumper there, and slide it into that lower 90 there. They cut the lead in half there for the Comets. Just over 1 minute played so far, and that was a great response there from the Blizzard. They really had not had a good opportunity before that, but hey, GX and Matt Ender made a lot of that first one there.
Absolutely. What they needed to do was to make sure that not all of the momentum was going one way. GX with a gorgeous and a very stunning air dribble ties that game up at 2, and it's a brand new game, Dex.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like we're going to be saying this a lot throughout the night. Exclamation point, POTW right there. That is certainly one of the goals that could be up for play of the week right there. GX carrying that ball all the way across field. Matt Ander, though, getting a clearance there, and it's going to be off E-Dart-E there, and the Blizzard score 3 quick goals here to give themselves the lead.
Well, and talk about a shift in momentum. That ball comes down. It was just kind of put into their corner, and E-Dart-E, just a little bit of a mistake, puts that ball in on net, but we still have 3.5 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, like you said, 3.5 minutes. Only 90 seconds gone so far. We've seen 5 goals come out from these teams combined here. Not a lot of defense yet from either of these two teams so far. But I have the feeling it will kind of calm down here in this last 3 minutes here. Both teams just trying to feel out the first minute or two.
Well, we'll find out if it's going to calm down here. I'm not sure I want it to. I'm kind of enjoying the play, although we haven't seen a ton of possession-based play, and that is something in Champion League that I do normally expect to see. So, you know what? We'll see what happens here as we push forward as Blizzard get the ball out of their side. GX is going to put that on net. Unfortunately, not able to get the second shot, and the Blizzard are going to be forced to try and put that into the Comets corner.
Yeah, Matt Ander doing a good job there, making sure E-Dart-E was not able to get the control of that ball and try to bring it upfield. Just slows down that momentum there for a little bit. Now Bell, though, trying to bring it up the field. Just has to get it past GX here, trying to fake them out there, but GX being very patient. 50-50 to the out of the corner there. However, this is a good opportunity for the Comets. Matt Ander, though, gets up there for a touch to play it across the goal. And a nice play there by E-Dart-E to get that pass away there from Matt Ander and keep it on the Blizzard side of the field.
Bell tries to put that in towards the net just to try and get something going on. And then as it comes down the field, the Blizzard try to push a little bit, but the Comets almost making a mistake there. However, none the worse for wear. Bell trying to advance the ball. No boost, but still working at it. E-Dart-E lobs one on net, and that is going to be in. We are back to a tie game.
Yeah. I have to give a lot of credit to Bell here. They get this little bump, I believe, onto Matt Ander there. I think there was a slight one. Matt Ander not able to get up and touch that ball away from the net. And the Comets able to get right back into this one here. Just a little under 2 minutes left to go here. And, you know, after the first minute and a half of seeing a lot of goals, that was only our first goal since about the 3:30 mark there. So I feel like these teams have kind of slowed down a little bit, kind of understood how this series is going to be played out here.
I think you're absolutely right, and a 50-50 means the ball ends up back in the Comets' end. E-Dart-E going to try and bring this into the Blizzard side. Looks like he's going to try and entice one out. GX, though, really patient and waiting and able to make sure that ball gets cleared down to the other end, and the Blizzard are now on the offense.
And they're trying to play it out of the corner there. Gets a good 50-50 there, but you see GX all the way on the other side of the field. A 2-on-1 opportunity here, but GX reads it perfectly, gets the ball away from E-Dart-E. Blizzard now having a counterattack of their own here. Bell, though, able to get there first to play it back down into the Blizzard side. Bell gonna take that ball out of the corner, try to get it past Matt Ander. It's right there for E-Dart-E, but they get denied by, I believe, Matt Ander there. A minute left to go, and Matt Ander clearing it right up the field.
E-Dart-E trying to get it out, but unable, and the Blizzard back on the attack. GX is going to get a 50-50. The ball still sitting right around the midcourt. E-Dart-E puts a shot into the backboard, and Bell now going to come back to the Comets' end. Nice little touch. Bell going to try and win that 50 and does. Can Bell get that ball out? E-Dart-E not able to get a touch before GX does. What a great defensive play by the Blizzard. Not only the offense coming out now, Dex.
Bell gonna bring this ball right back upfield, loses control of it. Matt Ander gonna try to play to that sidewall. Edarty picks it right up there, gets it past GX, but Matt Ander right there on the goal line. Bell with a shot a little bit wide. Edarty there with the follow-up, but they have it go a little bit wide. The follow-up though from Edarty with 4 seconds left to go is able to cross that goal line.
That was unreal. Shot after shot, and the Blizzard were able to keep it out. Actually, it was more that the posts were making saves. Finally in the right spot, the Comets take a lead. 4 seconds left. Let's see if the Blizzard are going to be able to keep this ball in the air, or if the Comets are going to be able to kill it. And kill it they are. Game number 1 in favor of the Comets.
Yeah, and honestly, like you said, you were absolutely right there. It was basically the crossbars being the Comets' best friend there at the end there, the Blizzard. Yeah, you know, they really didn't have to worry about getting the save there because they were shooting the ball a little bit wide, but at the end, it came back to bite them there, and the Comets, off that final kickoff, played it perfectly, played it to a spot where no Blizzard could get back to that ball, and it touched the ground safely, giving the Comets a 1-0 lead in this series so far. And Maple, I don't know if you've seen throughout the night, we've only seen sweeps here, so will the pattern continue here in Champion League?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're trying to win your first championship, a sweep is the right way to kind of do it, but I don't think so. After we saw this last game and the amount of activity that was going on, the back and forth, the excitement, and all the great play, I just don't think we're going to see a sweep. These teams seem to be extremely evenly matched, and it really came down to who made a mistake and who was able to capitalize on that error.
One quick thing I want to kind of point out here. Look at the shot difference here. 11-3. Yeah, the Blizzard were able to have 100% shot accuracy there. He only shot the ball 3 times. The Comets, on the other hand, 11 shots. They had a lot of offensive pressure there towards the end of the game, and that's when that shot total definitely started to skew in their favor a little bit there. But, I mean, I feel like that was the thing we saw pretty much throughout that entire first game there. The Blizzard, when they got their chances, they made them count. But the Comets, it was just more quantity over quality.
It was, and you know what? You know, I have coached at different levels of Rocket League before, including help coach a CRL team. And one of the things that I always encouraged was lots of shots on net. So I prefer the quantity. Quality is obviously important, but sometimes you catch the defense sleeping if you just keep putting that ball on net.
Oh, Bell tries to play that ball there to Edarty. Edarty, though, played a little bit too far aggressive there, letting that ball just fall straight to the ground. However, does not come back to bite them there as they try to pinch it off that sidewall there, back into the Comet side. Edarty with the bump here onto GX. Bell gonna try to pick this one up. Matt Ander ready for it, but it's a little bit of an awkward play out there, but GX able to get the ball away from goal here for the moment.
Matt Ander just putting that ball into the Comets half, being patient, and Edarty is forced to try and leapfrog his teammate. Edarty now on the back wall for the Blizzards, and ball ends up coming back around the half. Bell is there for it. Matt Ander, slight touch, comes up and off the wall, and he gets a clear down the left-hand side. Bell, however, moving again, looking for that ball, gets a touch, kind of gives it away a little bit, but not quite there fast enough to grab the rebound. And now Matt Ander going to try and just get that ball into the other side. And GX, a really nice shot. However, no reward for all that work.
It was either a nice shot or a nice attempt there at try and just be a distraction. Did not work out there, though. 90 seconds gone here. This is a much different 90 seconds than what we saw in game 1. I believe we had 5 goals already by this point. This game, we have none here. So like I said, I really thought towards the end of game 1, these teams had kind of settled down a little bit. But Edarty says, we aren't settling down at all. I'm going to put one in the back of the net here.
Without Caster's curse, you say it, and they do the exact opposite. No goals before, but it's a 1-goal game now. But 1 minute and 40 seconds gone and only 1 goal, as you pointed out. That is a significant departure from what we saw here in game number 1.
Speaking of a significant departure from game number 1, it's not right there, because just like game 1, the Comets quickly able to find their second goal after scoring their first one.
Incredible. The net was just wide open there for Bell, who didn't really have anybody contesting him at all. But that doesn't matter. Now we're back to the kickoff. It is a 2-0 lead for the Comets. And if you're just tuning in, this is the Champion League Grand Finals for Season 15 here in Minor League Esports.
DX gonna pick this ball up at half court. They've already made one incredible play here, trying to get a second touch there. Get a second touch there. Oh, it's falling right down, but a nice play there by eDarty to get that ball away from the net as Matt Ander was coming in to try just to dunk it home. DXO now gonna try to leave it there for Matt Ander again. Maybe call their own number, but eDarty again denies them there. Bell trying to back pass that ball out there. And the back pass actually coming out here from Matt Ander all the way back down into their own half there to GX.
GX takes the ball off the back wall, gets a 50 with eDarty in the air, but that one for the favor of the Comets. Bell now pushing. Matt Ander, a challenge, and it looks like this one's gonna go in. GX just gets the ball from that challenge that Matt won, and my friends, we are now down to a 1-goal lead for the Comets.
eDarty not able to get their car to that ball fast enough that time there. Like you said, this does cut the lead down to 1. A little under halfway left to go in this one here, so still a lot of time in Rocket League time here for the Blizzard to try to find an equalizer here. But I believe we just saw our first demo attempt of the night there. Didn't happen there at the moment, but still haven't seen one yet. I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I think there might have been some other demo attempts in the backfield, or at least I'm going to assume there have been, because honestly, I don't think I've ever watched this level of Rocket League without seeing some sort of demo attempts, in like the, 7 or 8 minutes that we've now been watching these guys play.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I was kind of watching there in the warm-up lobby. Matt Ander was just going after anyone they possibly could. I think the last minute and a half in the warm-up lobby, they weren't doing anything but demoing the Comets here. So, I mean, Matt Ander is, yeah, it's a warm-up, but that's one person I expect to see some demos out of. eDarty gets a shot here on goal. Bell gonna follow it up, and they're gonna get the first demo of the series and a goal to boot.
Well, that's awesome, and you know what? A goal to boot because they know what they're talking about. Just kidding. I'm Canadian, but I don't actually talk like that. No, that was a really nice play and a great read to get that 2-goal lead back for the Comets. These guys are obviously very serious about getting the very first championship for this CL Comets team, and I think that we are in for an absolute treat, Dex.
What a play coming out there from eDarty, getting an incredible save there. And now can they turn defense into offense here? Matt Ander going to play that ball out to the sidewall here. GX going to clear that one all the way downfield. It's going to go just a little bit wide of goal, but eDarty again just playing it away and now clearing it upfield. Matt Ander tries to pick it up at midfield. Going to pass there to GX. GX is going to bop this ball up, going back towards the back wall here for the Comets. Bell going to try to play it out. Maybe going to touch off the sidewall here. Not going to be able to. eDarty comes right in though to try to clear it out, and they're going to be able to here.
And a little bit of a dangerous miss there. I don't think GX meant to do that and meant to miss that ball, but GX now putting it across the other side. Bell attempting for a shot, not there. Matt Ander, great defensive play as eDarty was in and putting a shot on net. Bell off the back wall now, and Matt Ander is there to get that ball out and grab some boost, but eDarty back again. The shot puts it on. It's away, and this game is likely done and dusted.
2 games, 2 hat tricks here for eDarty. 6 goals to their name right now, scoring 6 of the 8 for the Comets. Like we've been saying, this is a team that wants to win its organization's first championship, and eDarty is coming out at the moment, proving that they definitely want to.
Well, some absolutely phenomenal play by both teams here, but eDarty does stand out as somebody that is able to capitalize the most and make some really, really great looking goals. And as we wind down the clock here, the Comets come out to a 2-0 lead in the Champion League double finals.
Yeah, 4 goals again for the Comets in this game. Basically doing the same thing they did in game 1. The only difference in this game is we talked about after the first game, a huge shot differential in the first game. This one, 7 shots apiece here for these 2 teams. There was more even on that aspect, but at the same time, it really seemed like the Comets never necessarily felt out of this game.
No, you know what? You bring up a really, really good point. The Comets never played, in my opinion, like they were necessarily behind, like they had a chip on their shoulder. They played very consistently. They were aggressive and quick to the balls. They were winning a lot of 50s and doing a really good job. So if the Blizzard want to pull this back, I think the recipe for success for the Blizzard is speed it up a little bit and try your best to to win those 50s and get more shots on net. I know they did definitely, I mean, over double the amount of shots they had in the last game, but obviously they just need to keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. They did get double their amount of shots they did in game one. 3 in game one, 7 in game two there. So I believe that's like 133% right there shot differential for them. And that's good. But the Blizzard, on the other hand, still, they're not getting the quality shots that we saw them get in game one, because they went 3 for 3 in that one. They were really kind of rush shots there in game two. And going into game three, I feel like this is a make or break game here for the Blizzard. If you lose, you're looking at having to reverse sweep. If you win, you kind of, give yourself some momentum in this series.
I agree with you. I think the momentum here is going to be the key. GX puts one on net, gets it around the Comets defender, and the Blizzard heard exactly what you said, and they are off to a really quick lead.
First time the Blizzard have scored a goal first in this series. The Comets scored the first goals in games 1 and 2 and ended up winning those games there. So let's see if that pattern continues here in game 3, if the Blizzard are able to come out on top here. But now I believe we're seeing something since the first time in game 3 that the Comets are actually playing from behind here.
They are playing from behind, but now let's see if they play like they're behind, if that makes sense. Because, I think you talked about it a little bit earlier. It might have been Chaser in the last game. They were talking about when you're behind, sometimes you play a little bit different. You play like you're scared to lose, and you definitely have something to lose. So I hope for the Blizzard's sake that they continue pressing, and I hope for the Comets' sake that they don't worry about it, because they still have over 4 minutes left in game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right about teams play differently when they're losing, especially when they're down in a series. And that's something I kind of started to expect to see from the Blizzard this game, potentially. But a nice save there from, I believe, Matt Ender. Doesn't get credited as one, but that was a great shot there from eDarty. Oh, but a huge mistake coming out there from the Blizzard, and Bell gonna make them pay.
Yeah, the Blizzard right there in their own end, accidentally hitting each other as both went for that side boost. And as a result, the game is now tied. No mistake from the Comets, who have been on the ball when it comes to punishing for mistakes. Bell wins that kickoff, puts it back into the Blizzard's end. eDarty is there. Nope. The ball goes past eDarty. Bell keeps it where it was before, puts that ball off, and eDarty tries to get the first touch, unable, but the Comets are able to get back on defense, and now eDarty and Bell moving back up the field to get back where they're most comfortable on offense.
Bar down, just not in there from Bell. Was able to get past GX there. I don't think Bell was expecting that, because if they were, they would have been able to put it in the back of the net there. eDarty picks up the second demo there of the series. First one for them here in game 3 right now. But the Comets, I mean, I like what they're doing here. They're being very aggressive, just kind of keeping up on this ball, trying to keep it on the Comets end, on the Blizzard's end as much as they can here. And they have a good opportunity right here. eDarty just has to get it past Matt Ender. They're going to look for the pass here to their teammate, but Matt Ender going to deny him. And now it's a fast break opportunity here for the Blizzard, and Matt Ender not going to let that one slide.
No, excellent play here, and real good patience and recognition by Matt that the other net is open and that the Comets overcommitted. One of the first major mistakes I've really seen the Comets make in that overcommitment, in their desire to try and get ahead. The Blizzard capitalize, and now as we head into the second half of game number 3, the Blizzards are back to having a 1-goal lead.
Bell tries to do a good play there, leaving it there for eDarty. They're going to play it high off that back wall there, but a nice double commit there by the Blizzard. That's a rare thing to hear in twos there, but it does get the ball away from the goal and back onto the Comets side of the field. eDarty going to try to play this one really slow as GX is right there. 50-50s all the way across field. Bell was in a good spot, but just not ready for it there, and doesn't pick up the big boost. However, they're able to 50-50 away there for Matt Ender as GX picks it up.
eDarty now on the Blizzard's back wall, going to try and get that pass out. Does, but the goal is too small, says Bell, as unfortunately he hits the post. Bell, though, going to keep that ball in temporarily on the Blizzard's side, but Matt Ender clears it down the right-hand side. eDarty off the wall, and now that ball is going to be out to Bell again as the Comets turn back to trying to get back on the attack where they felt or seemed to feel most comfortable.
Bell gonna try to leave it here for eDarty. Matt Ander able to get a touch of the plate all the way across the field. eDarty gonna try to play it out of this corner, but Matt Ander again just keeping the pressure up on the Comets right now. Bell putting a shot on goal. GX with the save. eDarty to keep it on the Comet side of the field. Matt Ander going up for it, not getting the strong touch they're looking for. eDarty going for goal here. GX with a huge save there to keep them in the lead here as we tick under 90 seconds left to go.
Oh, the Blizzard are just showing that on defense, they've got what it takes to be champions. Now we just need to make sure that they can show us on offense that they have the same thing. A weak touch by Bell. That ball ends up back into the net, though. Oh, that ball was in the control of the Blizzard, but some really good 50s in play by eDarty means that Bell can easily put that one in the net. The game is tied with only 65 seconds left. This is Rocket League.
Yeah, just a good team play coming out there from the Comets there. eDarty coming back from getting demoed there. The first demo we've seen from Matt Ander this entire series happened a couple seconds ago, but eDarty on the way back got a great play off that sidewall. Bell right there for a good putback. Top bar there from eDarty, just a little bit too strong there. Bell gonna keep it on the Blizzard side of the field. eDarty gonna try to corral it. It gets past GX. eDarty almost puts in the goal. Bell with the shot. Huge save by GX. Now the Blizzard trying to get it going the other way.
Matt Anders going to put that down, but Bell going to clear it back into the Blizzard end, and we just about saw another goal, but some great defensive play by the Comets mean that the Blizzard were held off for just a little bit longer. Now, Bell waiting for the ball to settle down, waiting for a good opportunity to challenge. Does eDarty in there now? Oh! Bell does not get the touch, and the ball stays out of the net. The game is still tied with only 10 seconds left.
That was almost an incredible play coming out there from the Comets, but now the Blizzard have an opportunity here to get an incredible play of their own. Clock has struck zero here. Can the Blizzard find one here at the end of regulation? No, they will not. We are heading to overtime for the first time this series.
Oh man, this is fantastic, and overtime is right where I thought we might end up being. These two teams playing and putting everything they've got into it, leaving nothing on the field at the end of each game.
This Blizzard team has been a different team than what we saw in games 1 and 2. I feel like this is a game they need to win here because this has been the best they've looked so far all series right now. But the Comets keeping this pressure up. Bell putting a shot on goal. Top bar. It's on the it's on the bar line there. Matt Ander gets a save. The Comets trying to get a follow-up shot. They're not going to be able to, but it's still on this side of the field. GX bumps Matt Ander out of the way. Bell with a shot just a little bit wide there. The Blizzard definitely trying to get this ball out of their side of the field. The Comets don't keep on attacking. GX gonna be able to clear it away, and I think they can breathe easy for a moment.
Oh my goodness, what a display of attack and defense we just got there. Matt Ander off the backboard. GX not quite able to get turned around fast enough. Bell gonna put a shot towards the net. No reward for that shot. GX now going to grab that ball, try and go up the wall. A quick demo means that Matt Ander is left in the backfield, and that attack is going to die fairly quickly. But I say that, the ball up on the Comets end. Bell, good touchdown. eDarty taking that, puts it to the left-hand side. Now, try to push up, but a great 50 by GX means that ball heads back into the Comets end. And now, Bell is going to put that into the net with a couple of little touches that fool with the Blizzard's players. And now we are heading to match point for the Comets.
Bell coming alive here in game 3, finding themselves a hat trick and the game-winning goal, which puts them on series point here. And man, this was a good game. But again, like the problem in game 1, look at the shot differential here, 16-2.
I am speechless looking at this. I don't think in my entire time casting and playing here in MLE that I have seen a shot differential that is this large. 14 shots that are different for these teams.
14 shots is absolutely insane, especially as a differential here. But you have to give the Blizzard a lot of credit here. Only getting 2 shots, and they brought this game to overtime. Now, you could say their defense was definitely the shining star here for them in this game. And I even said, this has been the best the Blizzard had looked all series. But again, the offensive side of the field, they are struggling with, and they need to try to improve that here in Game 4 if they want to try to give themselves a shot here in this series.
Yeah, you know what? These two players, GX and Matt Ander, have shown us that they have the skill and the mechanical ability and aptitude to make some pretty crazy plays, because some of the saves that we've seen them make are, quite frankly, ridiculous. They're amazing. Okay, I have been so impressed. But on the other side of the field, it's like they're not quite able to get the passes where they want them or get those plays initiated. And I've noticed a little bit that the Blizzard have kind of been putting the ball in the other end and hoping to grab it off the back wall or off the backboard. I think what they need to do is try and hold possession and maybe get some great passing plays going on as we head into game number 4 here at MLE.
Comets 1 win away here from their first championship as an organization here. GXO putting a shot on goal. I believe Edarty got a touch on that one, but not able to get that one away from the net there, and the Blizzard take an early lead here.
Yeah, Edarty was indeed able to get a touch. It doesn't matter, though. It was going in regardless, so we won't call that an own goal. Excellent play here by the Blizzard, coming in early, getting a 1-0 lead, and they did this in the last game, so let's see if anything different happens.
Matt Ander 50-50 is Edarty there, but Edarty in a good spot, able to get past Matt Ander. GXO with a huge save. Bell with the follow-up, trying to play it off that back wall there. GX gonna try to clear it out now. Edarty has something easier, trying to leave it for Bell, and it's a great pass to a great assist.
That was absolutely fantastic play. Really patient. Edarty puts it off the net instead of just banging it right into Matt. And no mistake, Bell throws that into the net. 1-1. We are tied. Brand new game here.
Only 35 seconds gone here in Game 4. So far, I mean, this series, other than Game 3, has been very quick scoring with all their goals here so far. Game 3 kind of started off slow, but picked up as it went on here. Matt Ander picking up a demo here. They have a man advantage here for the moment. GX, though, just not going to be able to get back to that ball in time. And now Matt Ander with a little bit of a misplay there. Bell going to look to give it to Edarty. Edarty with the shot, playing a little bit high. Bell, though, coming right back in, and they find their second goal here of Game 4.
Yeah, mistake on a rotation here by the Blizzard. Nobody there at the back post, and as a result, Bell has no problem slotting that anywhere in the net as it was wide open. 2-1 lead for the Comets. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes potentially towards the first ever championship for the franchise here at Minor League Esports.
Edarty putting a shot on goal. GX with the denial there. Matt Ander bumping Bell out of the way there so they won't get a follow-up attack there. GX trying to bring this ball downfield, and they played it perfectly there to get the pinch off the 50-50 to tie this game right back up.
Oh, this is the game that we have been wanting and looking for. At least me, I've been wanting and looking for it. I think that the Blizzard have a fair opportunity and a realistic opportunity to at least take a game or two off of the Comets. Let's see what happens here, though, because right now, normally I would say, oh, well, one team has momentum. But honestly, Dex, momentum has not been a factor, I don't think, in this game so far. I mean, I know the Comets are winning, but they're 1-goal games usually.
Yeah, but Edarty, almost getting that shot there. GX now going to try to get this counterattack started. They just have to get it past Bell here. GX, though, maybe trying to set something up for Matt Ander. No, they're calling their own number. Edarty had to get that save there. Matt Ander putting a shot back there on goal. Both members of the Comets just watching that one here. Edarty going to try to bring it up. GX 50-50. It stays on the Comets side of the field. Matt Ander going for it, able to get it past one member of the Comets, able to get it past the second member of the Comets, but not in GX, not there in time to put a shot on goal.
The Blizzard are trying everything, and Bell and Edarty seem to have a response. Great demo there to take some of the pressure off. Edarty pushes this into the Blizzard's end. Bell keeps it in. Matt Ander, though, has it on the back wall. Trying to clear that ball out, but Edarty going to put that off the hood of their car, back into their end. Matt Ander now 50-50 with Edarty, and the Blizzard have control of the ball, but Bell can lightly touch that and now clear that ball out of their end to take that pressure away.
DX gets that ball away from Edarty, but Edarty able to get a touch there, trying to get a pass there to Bell. Matt Ander able to get up there just to deny a shot opportunity there, but ERD following it right back up, trying to get something there for their teammate. Nothing will come from it there. The Blizzard now, I feel like they're kind of stuck in this pattern we saw in Game 3 a lot, where the Comets were just attacking non-stop here. They need to try to get out of their side of the field. They're able to get past 50-50 there. Will kind of go on to the Comet side for a moment, but ERD will collect this big boost here and immediately try to make a play here.
E has the ball.
Oh!
Flip reset. Boom! Able to put that in the net. The Comets take the lead in game number 4 again. And here we go.
Exclamation point POTW right there for that goal from E. What an incredible play coming out for them. And if the scoreline stays like this through the next minute and 43, that will be the championship winning goal there for the Comets. But the Blizzard, they still have a lot of time to try to make sure that that's not the case here. GX gets rid of one there. They're going to try to play this here to Matt Ander. Matt Ander will immediately find an equalizing goal here. The Blizzard are not going down quietly.
No, great demo here by GX to take care of the defense, and then Matt was all alone and makes absolutely no mistake, tying up the game with 90 seconds left. This is what we hope for. This, my friends, is Champion League.
He'd already get to try to play this ball down here, but Matt Ander going to play it to that back wall. What Bell does a good job. It's kind of killing that ball there on the back wall. Able to get it past Matt Ander. Now they're bringing it up the field. They want to try to play it out of this corner here. They are able to get that ball past GX there, but very slowly. Bell going to try to pass back here to EDarty. Gets denied by Matt Ander, but it's a weird bumps there. GX, though, with the huge save. Matt Ander now can bring this ball upfield. All they have to do is beat Bell.
You say that like it's an easy thing. Beating Bell seems to be something very difficult as they continuously seem to be winning 50-50s, but excellent play here by the Blizzard, who are trying to apply pressure, but the Comets keeping that ball into the Blizzard end. E holding onto the ball, trying to force Matt to keep that ball here up against the wall, and now E-Darty going to try and break out. Does get the boost spawn, which is what exactly they were looking for. E-Darty now off that back wall, and Matt Lanner almost puts the ball in by accident. Luckily for him, he didn't, and E-Darty stopped and thwarted by GX.
15 seconds left to go here. Ball on the Comets side of the field. GX not getting the touch they're looking for there. Matt Ander immediately has to go down. Bell clearing this ball upfield. Is it on goal? It's going to be on goal. 6 seconds left to go in this game, and the Bell has given the Comets the lead.
Of all of the ways to get a goal, a little lob from the far side of the field is not what I expected to potentially be the game-winning goal. We have a kickoff. Matt wins that kickoff, makes sure the ball is in the Comets' end. Matt Lander now has the ball. Touches it a second time, and a really great clear by Bell. My friends, we have our season 15 CL champions. Congratulations to the Comets in twos.
The Comets, it's the end of their curse here. 6 years of being in MLE, 11 seasons, and tonight they finally have their first organization champions here. CL2s has to be huge for them.
Absolutely massive. I imagine they are going insane right now in the Comets server, and I bet you that some of the old franchise staff that has since departed are having a great time as well. Congratulations, Comets. You absolutely did outplay the Blizzard. There was no fluke, no luck, or anything like that. I don't want to disparage the Blizzard. They played very valiantly, and in fact, their threes team tomorrow will be in grand finals for CL3s. So that is also very exciting, something for them to look forward to.
Yeah, and the Blizzard, they were great throughout this entire series, but just one of the stats I wrote down was shots throughout this entire series here. The Comets, 45 shots through the 4 games. They're averaging a little over 11 shots per game. The Blizzard, on the other hand, 14 shots throughout that entire series, and they got 7 of those in game 2.
Yeah, so triple the amount of shots. You know, we talked about that, right? Peppering. I kind of said I thought that quality is important, but quantity is also important. It forces players out of position, forces them to use boosts. So if you're starving them, then things get a little bit more difficult. The Comets did a phenomenal job here. Congratulations, Comets. You earned this championship. You deserve this championship. And I was so happy to be here to see it all go down.
Yeah. Before we head off to a break so we can get to the next final, make sure you type !ProLine in the chat here. Guardian ProLine supplies all the jerseys and shirts here, and the sweatshirt that Maple is wearing right there. Rep your favorite team. Rep your team. Hell, rep a Comets jersey. After that one, the Comets curse has ended here. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with yet another Twos Grand Final.